Hi there, buds. Sorry for the awkward angle, but I wanted to sesh out here by my new fountain. I was going to sit down there, but if you guys can tell, it's really sunny right now down there, and yeah, I couldn't see into the camera. I was squinting the entire time, and the lighting just looked horrible. So we're up here underneath my that covered patio. If you guys hear kids screaming next door, that's because we live right next to a school, and I think it's lunchtime, so this probably wasn't the best time to film this, but here we are. I have my AirVape Legacy Pro loaded up with some purple punch, so I thought we would hit this a couple of times. And I'll tell you guys why we're having a sesh out here by my fountain. It's not just because I got a new fountain. Like, a strange thing happened to me this weekend, and I really wanted to share it with you guys because I think some of you guys will think it's as neat as I did. Cheers. I'm gonna try to keep my coughs to the minimum if I can, since we're like right next door to the school. We did have a new wood privacy fence installed all around our backyard because when we moved in it was chain link and there was no privacy back here at all. So at least I'm not being stared at by kids as I'm bathing. If you guys haven't checked out my review of this, you should. This is my absolute favorite vaporizer of all time. It functions so well, and I feel like I've tested so many different vaporizers, and this one by far functions better than anything else I've ever tried. It still has a whole minute left. And I'm already dead. So we're gonna hit it until it times out because we're not wasting any herb here, even if I did grow it myself. I guess I could start with my story if I don't choke. So there is this weird step up right by our front door. I think it used to be planters, but they had it bricked in because they added a cover over this patio back here. And so when they added the cover, nothing is gonna grow inside of a planter underneath a roof, you know what I mean? So they just filled it in. And it's always looked kind of odd, but there's this one little section that it just has exposed dirt. So yesterday I was setting up this fountain, and I had some rocks that I usually put on top of my plants as a decorative accent. And I decided I was just going to put them around the fountain to make this little section look a little bit more like the fountain's not just sitting there, you know what I mean? It's actually part of an environment. And this little section has always been really weird too. It's I think it used to be another planter that was on the side and they just bricked it off, and so now it's this weird corner that has this really nice stone. But anyways, now that there's a fountain there, it looks so much better. Anyway, so the bed over here, there's this little bed, and so as I was finishing up the rocks over here, I was thinking, oh my god, I don't have enough rocks to finish this up. What am I gonna do? I don't really want to go purchase some rocks. And then I was I look over and I'm oh, there's rocks in that bed. I could see a couple of rocks on the top of the bed, but they were all covered by dirt, so I didn't know what they were. And so I just started to dig through this little bed at the corner of our front door, and literally, I think this guy, the previous owner to this house who died, he died here in his house. I think he was a believer in crystals and rocks, because literally, I kept pulling out rocks that were literally the most gorgeous things I've ever seen in my life. Okay, so this is my back door, and then right beside it are these planters that you can see they were filled in, except for that one spot over there, which is where I dug and I found all of those rocks. So weird, right? Why wouldn't you just bury them right here in the corner of your house? And you literally filled all this in. There's one down there too. Filled all this in except for that one little corner, which you buried with beautiful crystals, rocks, and fossils. Like, can somebody make this make sense to me? Every rock was unique. Some of them were crystals. One of them had writing on it. It was the weirdest thing. It was kind of Blair Witchy and kind of creeping me out. But at the same time, I was so excited to find all these rocks that are so beautiful. I'm hoping that it doesn't like give me some bad juju or something, like because I moved the rocks that were buried. You know what I mean? Like and some of these are literally crystals. Like, and I think there's a fossil or two in there. So like these were really, really neat, and I just wanted to share with you guys like what I found. So like I dug them all up, and I washed them all off, and I kind of made like a little display with them all right next to the fountain. So I thought I would just show you some of the cool rocks that we found because I don't know, I was stoned and I just kept digging up these rocks, and every time I was rinsing them off, I was like, there's no way this is going to keep getting cooler. And like literally there had to have been 30 to 40 rocks in that thing that were all unique and beautiful. So without further ado, let me show you guys my new rock collection that I inherited and didn't know that I had, like buried right by my back door. But first, let's take the cartridge hit too. I just found these cartridges. I think it's like a new company in Colorado. It's called Magnitude. I really, really like them. Like they have really good airflow, and they have this little notch at the bottom where you can like actually adjust the airflow on it, which is really, really nice. Because you guys know I'm a sucker for airflow. I feel like that's like the key to getting a good hit is amazing airflow from any type of vaporizer or cartridge or anything like that. So cheers. I think this one is blueberry, maybe? I think it's blueberry. Cheers. I hope nobody was paying attention to my fingers while I was vaping. If you were, my hands have not looked this bad in a while. I have blisters on them, and they're kind of peeling at the tip from digging in rocks and dirt. I also installed drip irrigation around our entire house because I also did landscaping for our entire house, and I just installed that this past weekend, so my hands are raw. Anyways, let me show you my rocks. I'm gonna show them to you wet. I kind of dipped them in the fountain just really quick because I feel like they're prettier when they're wet. This is like some type of crystal of some kind. I literally don't know. It's big, like it's a nice big hunk of crystal, but it's really pretty. I feel like I should show you these in the sun. Let me just show you these in the sun. All right, giving you a better look at this crystal. This was the first one. If anybody knows what kind of rocks these are, leave a comment down below and just be like, oh, rock number 1 is blank or rock number 2 is blank. So this is the first crystal, super white. It has almost a pale pinkish color to it and super sparkly. And this was a weird one. It just looks like an egg, literally. I've never seen a rock so like egg-like, but it literally just looks like an egg. Yeah. This rock has like pink and white and black marbling in it. This rock has like green stripe in it. It literally looks like part of a cliff or something. I don't know. It's really pretty though too. He also had a couple shells over there. This one I thought was really neat looking. It kind of reminds me of Marcel the Shell. I'm so excited for the Marcel the Shell movie that's coming out. Leave a comment down below if you know who Marcel the Shell is, because he's amazing. And if you don't know who he is, just look him up on YouTube, because he's a cool guy. This is a really big rock that has like this like crystal-y look to it on the side, but then it has like a stone, like almost like marble look to it on this side. It is stunning. It's one of my favorite ones that we found. I wish I knew what type of rocks these were. There was another little piece that kind of looks similar to that one, but it doesn't have any crystals to it. This one I think is some sort of fossil. It has like a little skeletal look to it right here. It almost looks like a rib cage of something. I'm like 99% sure this is a fossil of something. I just don't know what. The rock looks super old too. But isn't it neat to find like a fossil in your house? Like, and he had this buried in like a little thing with crystals and stuff. So I know that he like kept this. He saved this intentionally, and I see why. It's like definitely a fossil of something. I thought this was a really neat rock that was in there. It's super smooth, and like it almost seems like this was like a tool or something. Like the way that it's shaped. I don't know. It doesn't look natural. Like this doesn't look like this rock just was like this in nature. But it's really neat how smooth it is. Like, and like even the edges are super smooth. Like it's been like smoothed down, and then it has this little groove right here, which makes me think it was like on something. I don't know. This is really neat though. This one had to literally be my favorite thing that I pulled out. When I pulled it out, it literally was just a hunk of dirt, and I didn't know what the fuck it was. And then as I rinsed it off, I was like, oh my God, that is stunning. It has like this like layered look to it. It has like gray stone, then red stone, then like light gray stone, then like a marble looking stone. And then at the top are crystals. Like literally, if this isn't the neatest rock I've ever seen in my life, I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? Like, I need to know what this one is because this is stunning. I hope this video is doing it justice because when I rinsed this off, I was just like in shock of how beautiful it was. Like, what the fuck? There were a couple that looked like this that kind of looked like wood. Like it has like a wood texture to it, which is really, really neat. Like it almost looks like fossilized wood. But it's definitely a stone. Like it's hard, it's a rock, but it definitely looks like wood. Isn't that neat? He had two crystals that were kind of similar. There was this one, which is completely clear. It's in like a shape of like what I would say like a crystal would look like a crystal pendant or something. It's really neat, the shape of it. Looks like an icicle. And then this one is where things got Blair Witchy to me. This one has a writing on it. I hope you guys can see the writing on this crystal. It says pink bunny tail at the bottom, and it has arrows pointing down. I don't know what this part says. But it's just so weird that there's writing on this. And it was like literally planted downwards like this. So in my little display, I made sure that this is facing downward so that I don't mess up whatever energy or whatever this is doing, because this kind of creeps me out. Like finding a crystal that has writing on it, I'm like, what the fuck? It does kind of look like a bunny's tail though, doesn't it? Like, kinda, maybe. There was this piece that literally looks like a big hunk of gold. I'm like, what the fuck? It literally looks like gold. Like it looks like in the cartoons, like gold. Like, you know what I mean? Like this looks like a big rock, a hunk of gold. Someone tell me if this is gold, because that looks like gold to me. Wouldn't this be neat if I had like a big solid piece of gold right here? I wonder how much this would be worth. There was this rock that has like speckles in it. Kind of looks like one of those like quartz countertops from the 2000s or something, but like the actual rock and not like the cheap stuff that people put in their houses. There was this fossil that is like definitely a fossilized shell of some kind. It's just super neat that he had fossils and crystals. Like, I love having these, and I can't believe that I had them all here for free. That they were just buried and not displayed. Like, why have such cool things and just literally bury them? He had this rock right here, which, you know, on first glance looks like a regular rock, but it's actually like a keyhole rock, which is really, really neat to hide like a spare key or something. I don't think we're gonna do that because I am way too paranoid to have a spare key just like laying under a rock. But yeah, I thought that was super neat. And there were a couple things of this, which I literally don't know, that's so shiny. It kind of looks like a thin rock. But there were like a couple just like sheets of this really shiny material. I don't know what it is. Leave a comment down below because it kind of almost doesn't feel like a rock, but it does. Like, it's really weird. It almost feels like it's sheets of something, but I don't know. And it like sheds, like on my hands is now like this like shiny stuff. So yeah, I think that's gonna be the last rock I show you guys. But those were just a handful of the rocks that he had. I just showed you some of my favorites, but I'll kind of give you a glance. I kind of lined the whole little rock bed with all his rocks on display. We're gonna have more black rocks to fill in right here. I just kind of ran out. But yeah, I thought that was super neat. But yeah, that's what I found in his little buried rock garden. I literally cannot believe I found all of those stones and how beautiful they are. I never was into stones. Never been into rocks. Never been into crystals. Like, it's just not my thing. I can appreciate their beauty, but it's just like not something that I would like go buy or spend a lot of money on. But I'm so glad I have these because I have them for free. Like, and they're so beautiful, and now I kind of genuinely appreciate them, and I kind of want more. I'm not gonna lie. Like, some of those rocks over there are really pretty, particularly that one crystal with the layers at the bottom. That one, I would love to find something else similar to that, maybe in a bigger form to like put in my house somewhere, because stunning, like gorgeous. And even the little white crystals were kind of neat. And some of the rocks with like the spots and the different colors, I don't know. I appreciate them all for being so different. It was so neat to dig them up and literally rinse them off, and like each one was unique in its own way. So I thought I would just share this with you guys. I know that it's a little random, but it was random for me too. Like, I didn't expect to literally dig up like 30 to 40 beautiful decorative rocks. So, and the fossils, like, I don't know. And that one thing, I swear it looks like some type of stone tool, like, which is so neat. I wish I could find someone to tell me what they were. Like, I wish I knew where you would go to evaluate something like a fossil or something that you found. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'm gonna take this hit and then I guess I'll be heading out. I hope you guys are all doing well. I know we haven't sat down and just chit-chatted for a bit. Like, I feel like I've had a lot of grow videos and reviews and just like a lot going on my YouTube channel that I just haven't been able to sit down as much as I used to. So this was like very, very refreshing. Like, honestly, this is my favorite type of video to film. It's just the little random things, just sharing my life with you guys. Things are going well over here. I cannot tell you guys how nice it is to have a place outside to film. Like, even if it is this weird angle, to literally have space that's private and my own and I can film outside. Like, I cannot wait to do gardening videos because the weather is getting so beautiful. We're past our last frost date, so all of our veggies and stuff are going into the ground, all the flowers. So excited to share that with you guys and do a session in the garden. Bye. Not the cutest ending, but